What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today in this video we're doing another voiceover, and I'll be taking you guys through one of my fights, and this fight was actually held in Samoa. So I traveled over. This was one of my second international trips overseas, and this is the very first fight of a tournament where I had two fights. So, as you guys are seeing, I'm versing a boy named Junior. Now, one thing about Samoa, it was so humid there. I remember getting off the plane and it was just like you couldn't breathe. The air was so stuffy. So fighting in that condition was definitely a different experience. Definitely a lot harder to breathe and get through the rounds, but it was definitely a challenge, but it was a good challenge that you've got to really experience, especially when you start traveling internationally. And as you guys just seen, I just did my little jog around the ring like I always do, just to get the feel of how big the ring is, and then I always touch gloves just to show that respect. So now we're getting ready for the first round, getting my head guard put on, and we're about to get into it. Now, if you guys look really closely, you can see me moving my legs around, and I stomped the ground in a second. That was just because my legs, for some reason, when I got in there, they were like uncomfortably light. They were kind of felt like they weren't there, which was making me a little bit nervous about my balance in the end. But it all ended up coming good, as you guys will come to see in this first round. As you guys are seeing now, warming up those arms a little bit, getting ready to come into the center as the ref comes over to check everything, check my gloves, make sure I do my little spin around, check my box, check my mouth guard, and get ready to fight. Brings us both into the center. And one thing about Samoans is they're super respectful. Got to love every single one of them. They were all amazing, all great to be around. And as you guys can see, even just in the center ring, the way that he demonstrates it, it shows a lot of respect, which was really cool to see. We're now ready to rock and roll for this first round. Touch all the coach's hands as usual, just as a little bit of good luck, and we'll get this first round started. So I came rushing out to the corner because I seen he was sitting back a little bit, and I just started popping out that jab straight away and keeping myself active. And one thing I did notice straight away, as you guys seen, as I got hit with a couple of those little shots, is that Samoans have power. You always hear it. You always hear they got heavy hands, and they definitely do. You could feel it straight away. It's definitely fast-paced to the start of this round, but I was just keeping active as possible. My shots seemed to be landing pretty much the whole time. See, hit him with a good 1-2 to the body there, and a little bit of an exchange coming up now. Nothing too crazy. He did cop me with a nice shot there, but I gave it straight back and popped his head back a little bit. But that power is definitely making me move my head a little bit more quicker. Really switched on. I remember the coach telling me that right hand was always going to be there. So I kept following up with that right hand. As you see, it landed again. And every time I got stuck in close, my goal was to work the body, because just a little rumour that Samoas have weak bodies. I'm sure not all of them do, but we did hear that. And that definitely seemed to be the case at this tournament. Tried a little sneaky pullback right hand there. Didn't land it, but tried to come in and attack that body. Hit him with a little body shot there. Had some good head movement as I seen him overextend that right hand. And then I came in with a flurry of punches, which got him on an 8 count. So that was the very first 8 count of this fight. To me, he didn't seem too bad, so I wasn't going to do anything crazy and rush myself, because I had a feeling he was going to try to come back strong just to try to prove to the judges that he wasn't actually hurt in that 8 count. So as he comes out, try to get the first shots off on him. And as you guys see, he does try to fire back, but I was willing to trade with him because I knew there wasn't going to be long left of this fight, and I knew that my cardio was on peak. As you guys see, I pop out a nice jab there, and he's still throwing, but I'm just getting out of the way of those punches, and I hit him with a nice little underbody shot there, which doesn't seem to play too much effect until he starts to crawl over a little bit, and I got him with those 2 body shots there, which got him on another 8 count. Now, my opponent does try to put his hands up, but the ref could obviously see in his eyes that he didn't really want to continue and go back out there. So once he finished off that final 8 count, he decided to send me back to my corner, and that was the end of the fight. So first round stoppage by a body shot. All respect to my opponent, did an absolutely amazing job going out there and giving his best efforts for his hometown. That is the best feeling in the world, getting that head guard off. And I just wanted to get my mouth guard out straight away because how humid it was. So got all the gloves off and getting ready to come into the center to get the hand raised. Now finally getting some feeling back in my leg, I decided to do a little bit of a cool down jog and a little bit of shadow boxing just to loosen up. And by the looks of it, a little bit of excited drumming before I go over and show some respect to my opponent and to his coach also, as he goes over to my coaches and shows his respect also. Make sure you guys always show respect in the ring. It's one thing I'm always been massive on, is showing respect, win, lose or draw. Always got to show respect to your opponent, because you've both got in there, and it's a hard thing to do. So as you see, we go in there, get the hand raised, and that was the first fight in the tournament that I've had in Samoa. So now that was a quick video, guys, just because it was only one round. So I'm going to leave you guys now and leave you to watch a leg session that I had the other day. So it was a pretty intense leg session, and I thought I'd show you guys exactly what I do when I go through my leg sessions. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and thank you guys again for watching the video.
Woke up, told myself to push and never stop. I've been stressed out, watching both these hands around the clock. With my eyes wide, trying to get the panorama shot. Whole world getting blurry to me, answers getting lost. So I watch my back and keep it moving to the front. And remember that the world's yours, do it how you want. You've been waiting here for too long, think it's time for you to move on. Realize that there's real lies in these real times to be strong.
I've been waiting all my life, and it was right before my eyes. Watching all this time slip by, now I realize. You know I've been waiting, 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 waiting. But will you wait for me?
Forever grinding, waiting for my time to shine just like a diamond. But life is rough and I ain't with that funny stuff. I use it all as motivation, but it's hard to have the patience. Watching time fly by might be the hardest thing I have to do in life. Frustrated that I ain't where I want to be yet, but I know that I'ma make it if I chase that check. Yes.
Cause I done seen the time go by for too many years now when the stars were aligned. Cause I done seen the time go by. Yeah, I done seen the time go by.
I've been waiting all my life, and it was right before my eyes. Watching all this time slip by, now I realize. I've been waiting all my life, and it was right before my eyes. Watching all this time slip by, now I realize. You know I've been waiting, 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 you know I've been waiting. But will you wait for me?